Hello. So, somebody recently asked me, uh, why it is I don't care about materialistic stuff or status. And, the answer I gave was a short and sweet answer, and that was because it really doesn't give you fulfillment. Um, it's probably because in my life I have lost everything multiple times over. Not correction. Given away and burned down everything multiple times over. Not literally, not arson, but through my not so smart lifestyle choices, um, I've had to start over a few times now. So that's part of it. I don't have a fear of losing everything, um, because I know yeah, it takes a little bit of nose to the grindstone, a little bit of hard work, but you can rebuild everything relatively quick, um, in the grand scheme of things. Um, but I suppose ultimately it's because, and that's not to say that I don't care about having a decent car and a nice place to live and stuff, because of course I do. It's nice, it's wonderful, it's comforting, it's convenient, um, protects you from the elements. It makes survival a little easier for sure. Um, is it the be all end all? Absolutely not. No. For me, I find a lot of that, as comforting as it can be and as convenient as it is at times, I find it to almost be binding. I've been homeless twice at least. And as weird as this is going to sound to anybody who's never been homeless before, there's a certain amount of freedom with it. There really is. Because all you're responsible for is surviving from day to day. And yes, while you're in survival mode all the time, at the same time, um, you don't have to worry about a house payment or a car payment or this or that or the other thing. You know what I mean? It's a very humbling and can be very liberating experience. It's a good way to kill the ego too. I see it at the rehab. I've seen it at multiple rehabs, and I'm guilty of it too. My first few rehabs, you get in, you quit doing your substance of choice, and the next thing you focus on is your outside appearance because you're still seeking external validation for an internal problem. Um, the funny part about that is once you finally figure that out and switch it so that you focus on the internal stuff, the external just falls into place almost effortlessly. It's miraculous. It really is. You know, um, little things. Okay. When I originally got to this particular rehab, of course, like most rehabs here, most people come in because they're dodging court or they're whatever. I just happened to be. I was done. If I'd continue running the way I was, I would not be sitting here. Had died 12, 13 times in my last relapse. So I don't think I had any much more in me. Point being is, yeah, I had nothing. And by the grace of God and some kindness from a good friend of mine, one of the few I had left, not only did she put me up in her home and for a short time, but she was a very large contributing factor into talking me into going in and getting help again. So she knows who she is, and I thank her for it all the time. Anyway, but okay, so I get into rehab, and I happen to, like most addicts, I had caught some cases while I was out there. Comes with the territory. And so when I went to apply for food stamps, I got denied. It said I was fleeing felonies, which is ironic because of the amount of information you have to give in order to get food stamps. Okay. So here I am in rehab where you have to supply your own food. Luckily for me, part of the program involved weekly trips to a food pantry. So once a week I would get a box of donated food. And then somebody in the house, we kind of hooked up and turned out to be one of my best friends now. He did get food stamps, and between what I would get from donations and what he had in food stamps, we have been eating like kings. I mean, he put on 80 pounds. I put on like 40 and then lost about 20, but that's just me. I have a very fast metabolism. That's not the point. The point is I didn't worry about it. I focused on the internal stuff. And I focused on, fixing and trying to heal wounds, resentments, all kinds of stuff like that. All the internal shit. And I never asked for his assistance, none of it. But because my outside character started to reflect the work I had done on the inside, he, as he put it, felt compelled. Little things like that have happened throughout this entire journey. And I suppose that's one of the reasons I don't, and it's not that I don't focus, because, I'm getting ready to go back to work full time now that winter's over. I do outside work. And I'm grateful for it and looking forward to it, And it's not that I don't care about that stuff. It's just, it has a lot less meaning to me than it does to most. I see so many people that, especially, keep it in context of rehabs and stuff. They get in here and they're in here a month, and okay, they start looking a little better, looking a little healthier, they put on a few pounds, they're not looking like a skeleton anymore, and the next thing you know, every penny they get, they're buying new shoes or some name brand clothing item, or who knows, because they're still focused on the external. This, as Yoda would say, this crude matter, it's not who you are. It's a shell. Very sophisticated, highly functional shell, but it is a shell. Sure, you want to take care of it. Absolutely. There's no doubt about that. Of course you want to look nice. You can't deny first impressions. Okay? But it's also part of the reason I don't wear my teeth hardly, and I'm not clean shaven every day and whatnot. It's my little way of forcing people to look past the superficial. Is it successful? Not all the time. Actually, most of the time it's not. And that just tells me who I don't want to be around. Because if that's all you see, if you can't look me in the eye and start to see the real me, you ain't worth my time. So, to answer that question, because it's come up multiple times. What do you mean you don't care about materialistic things? I really don't. Yes, of course I enjoy them. Yes, I want my vehicle to run nice and be reliable. Yes, I want a decent home. Do I need a 100-room mansion? Fuck no, I can be just as happy living in a 2-room trailer. Shit, I've lived in this car Am I now? No, but can I? Absolutely. Maybe it's my gypsy blood. I don't know. You know, and that's the whole point. Creature comforts are nice, but don't be fooled by their illusion. The only reason they give you status or anything else, clout, reputation, infamy, is because people give it power. And it is just as much of an addiction as anything else. Just like people who seek constant attention, or people who don't really know who they are unless they're defined by somebody's opinion of them. Stop giving your power away. Seriously, think about it. Yeah. Have a blessed day.